Hello, geometry. Again, taking advantage of this cold day. I'm just really worried about Catholic Schools Week next week because it's supposed to be colder for like 3. So let's keep our fingers crossed that we can get through next week. Because I do like Chapter 7 a lot and kind of want to get back to our routine. So, any case, here we go. 8.2, use properties of parallelograms. Okay, so we're talking about four-sided figures here, and they have special properties. And also 8.3, we'll talk about parallelograms as well. So our learning targets, I can find an angle and the side measures in parallelograms, and I can apply properties of parallelograms in the real world. Okay, so here we go. Find the value of x. Remember the sum of the interior angles, n minus 2 times 180. And here n is equal to 4 because we have a four-sided figure. So 4 minus 2 times 180, that will equal 360. So all four, and this is also a corollary that you just need to know. So all four sides, x plus 131 plus 67 plus 106 has to equal 360. So x, in this case, will be 56. Please double check my work, because I make errors, you know that. Oh, midpoint. This is going to come in handy, especially something about diagonals. So here we go. Find the coordinates of the midpoint of AB. This is A, this is B. Remember the formula for a midpoint? You add the two x's, divide by 2, add the two y's, and divide by 2. So negative 2 plus 10 is 8. Divided by 2 we get 4. And then 6 plus 4 is 10. Divided by 2 is 5. So the midpoint would be 4, 5. I should put the midpoint of AB here. Okay, find the distance. Oh, remember distance formula? Distance is equal to the square root of, this comes up so much in the real world actually, the change of x plus the change of y. Of course, these can change because it'll only become a sign difference, and the sign will always become positive because you're squaring it. So here we go. My two x's, negative 2 and 10. Add the two y's, 6 minus 4. And keep in mind, 6 minus 4 is 2. If I switched it around, I'd have 4 minus 6, that would be negative 2. So when you square it, you still get the same value. This will be negative 12 squared, which is 144. 2 squared, which is 4. You get 148. The square root of that. Don't forget the square root. Which is equal to 2 times the square root of 37. Okay. Usually teachers will let you leave this. That gets a little tricky. Here we go. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides parallel. Okay, I know I have to have a highlighter somewhere. I will just use the pink pen. Opposite sides are parallel. The term parallelogram, PQRS, can be written as, draw a little parallelogram in there. So PQ is parallel to SR, notated by one little arrow there, and QR is parallel to PS, again notated with 2 arrows. So just remember, opposite sides are parallel. Remember, the symbol for parallel is like kind of 11. That's a bad quadrilateral. Okay, bad parallelogram that is. So here we go, 8.3, the diagram on the left. So we're looking at this. If a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, okay, then its opposite sides are congruent. So we definitely want to remember that. So if it's a parallelogram, opposite sides are congruent. So PQ is congruent to RS, and QR is congruent to PS. Okay, so that's this one right here. Now, theorem 8.4 for the picture on the right. If the quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its opposite angles are congruent. Okay, so these two angles are congruent, and these two angles are congruent. So that's this one. All right. Next page. Oops, on the back. Sorry about this. It's my trying to get rid of all that scrap paper. All right. Okay, here we go. Well, find the values of x and y. Because of, whoops, forgot to put that in there. Because it's showing opposite sides are parallel, we also know that opposite sides are congruent. Or we know it's opposite sides are parallel, it's a parallelogram, so opposite sides are congruent. So we have y minus 8 is equal to 36. Add 8 to both sides. Y is equal to 44. I don't know what the unit is, but let's leave it as that. Opposite angles are congruent. So x is equal to 72 degrees. That's not too hard. Theorem 8.5. If a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its consecutive angles are supplementary. Okay? Remember, if you have parallel lines cut by a transversal, this angle and this angle will equal 180. Well, that's what's happening here. You have parallelogram with the transversal. Okay, so x plus y equals 180. And since opposite sides are parallel, it goes both directions. Pretty nifty, huh? Alright, here we go. Shown is a hydraulic scissor lift. So I kind of colored that in pink so you'd see it. Can you see the letters? L, M, N, O. The highlighted section is a parallelogram. If angle LMN, here, maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger. So LMN is 110 degrees. What is the angle of MNO? MNO. We're looking for this one. Well, these two have to be supplementary. So 110 plus x is equal to 180. So x has to equal 70 degrees. Okay. I think it would be fun to ride on one of those. I don't know. As long as it's kind of slow, I guess. If it's really fast, it could be scary. Theorem 8.6. If a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its diagonals bisect each other. They cut each other in half. Okay, so hence the midpoint problem we did with our warm-up. Okay, so notice I'm marking these with parallelograms, and I have these two congruent to each other, these two are congruent to each other. And it's listed right there. So diagonals cut in half. Last page. We have a nice summary on this, page 2. Okay. And we will have some proofs coming up because of all the properties. Sorry about that. The diagonals of a parallelogram shown intersect at point T. What are the coordinates of point T? Well, I know that this point is 7, 8, and this point is 1, 1, 7, 3, and 1, 6. All right, well, let's find the midpoint of these two, okay? I wish I had my ruler with me. Of course, it's like 2 feet away, or not even that. Here we go. Midpoint. Add your two x's. 1 plus 7 over 2. Add the two y's. 1 plus 8 over 2. So 1 plus... Whoa, you didn't see any of that. I'm sorry. 1 plus 7 is 8. Divided by 2, you get 4. 1 plus 8 is 9. Divided by 2 is 4.5. Or you can say 9/2, your choice. Let's try the other direction. See if it meets in the same spot. We're going to check it. One plus 7 over 2. 6 plus 3. And yes, it works out. So where is this point located? At 4 and then 4.5. So go over 4, up 4.5. And my lines weren't too bad. I'm impressed with that today. Okay, so here's a nice summary. I don't know if the visuals help you, but parallelograms are always quadrilaterals. Remember, you get those questions that say sometimes, always, or never. They must have two pairs of parallel sides, thus giving its name. Okay, opposite sides are parallel. Opposite angles are also congruent. Opposite sides are congruent. The diagonals bisect each other. They cut each other in half. And then last but not least, these are alternate, they're not alternate interior angles. Woo, I found an error. This is the same side interior. Or otherwise known as consecutive interior. Well, how about that? Didn't even notice that last time. Well, here is our homework assignment and our Common Core standards. So we will be doing a few proofs. Sorry about that. And keep warm. Enjoy your weekend.